those real moments of sanctification and growing are the most mundane, boring, like you were saying,
ordinary.
around the kitchen table. And we're always talking about, we need to go to EWTN, or we need to go do this thing. We need to do these big acts of whatever to really reinforce their faith, when really it's sitting around that dirty kitchen table with schoolwork everywhere and jelly in our hair, right? That's where the saints are made. And that's what they're going to remember 5 decades from now.
Or
I was going to say,
prayers.
yeah, go ahead.
What's that?
Or prayers.
Talk about that.
I mean, our kids really like to pray, and I think it's great because I didn't like to pray when I was a kid
Right.
at all. It's always been something that's been important and essential in my life. But when I was a kid, I didn't like it because it was just kind of the temperament in my household growing up was kind of like, you have to do this. So I didn't enjoy it, but it just became a regular part of my life. And then when we started to pray with our kids, because, you know, Julian and I kind of fell away from the church for a while and then came back in 2020. And that's when we started to teach our kids how to pray. And they really enjoy it now. It's great. Like, Caleb even wrote his own prayer, and he likes to tell people that he wrote his own prayer. And it's a really sweet
so cool.
prayer. You know, and Logan loves the St. Michael prayer. So, like, he'll meet someone new and be like, oh, the St. Michael prayer is my favorite prayer. And he'll just tell them. And it's really sweet. Like, I really enjoy watching my children pray. And then I love when someone asks me for a prayer request. I love to take it to my kids and be like, like their babysitter in Athens, her mom is really sick. So I loved that I could tell my kids, like, Miss Jenny's mom is really sick. So we need to pray for Miss Jenny. We need to pray for her mom and her family. And, like, my kids love to do that. So it's really sweet to get to see them enjoy praying and want to pray for people, which is it's really heartwarming.
Well, and prayer is one of those things that I still struggle in a big way with prayer life, right? And I always, every time I go to confession, I confess sins of omission, and then I talk about prayer, and then I talk about box checking. Because I check the boxes, right? I pray before I eat. I'll pray in the morning. I pray with the kids in the car on the way to school. We do the rosary. We do before they go to bed every night. We do all of these box checking prayers. And I've had multiple priests who have said, from a parent perspective, like, no, that's great. Like, that you're checking the boxes and that it's awful, and you dread the rosary because you know that your kids are going to take off their clothes and they're going to just like take a Sharpie and draw eyebrows on themselves like our 5-year-old did the other day, and all of these different things. And that is so good, and it's so okay to do that. Just even if it does just feel like box checking from their perspective, you're putting that on their soul and on their heart in a way.
And I was told discipline. Like, it's facilitating the discipline. Like, it doesn't matter what you feel. We're living in this culture.
You are not how you feel. Yes.
And our feelings don't make us move. Like, we do what we do because it's right. Or we don't do what we don't do because it's wrong.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this clip. If you enjoyed what you're seeing here, make sure you go and watch the whole video. Down below, make sure you like and subscribe and share it with anybody else who you think might be interested.